Today I'm be showing you my offensive Ronin build. This is a
I know
gold
enemy is
survival
down.
where we're yet to lose one defensive point. Now this isn't even full offense, and I'll show you. I have 231 kills, twice as many as the other Ronin. More, Samurai is the 164. I'm just going to show you the last wave, and then I'll get into the build. I'll get into the full offensive way to do this too.
One foe fell. It goes through to strike another. Ghosts wrought destruction from afar.
I kind of spammed that a little bit hard. I could have been a lot more conservative with it. And menu up. There we go. So getting into the build, you're going to pick a weapon stance of your choice, preferably moon or water, so you can deal with heavies. Especially with the Way of the Flame, you can deal a lot of damage. The water I think is ideal, but this one had the melee damage and some ability cooldown, so I'm using this at the moment. So I get the perfect roll on a water one. But the perks you're going to be running is melee damage for when you use the Way of the Flame, and just in general. You really won't be meleeing out of using Way of the Flame. And for your second one, you're going to want Oni damage, so you do more damage against Onis. For our range, this is ideally the legendary that we want, especially when we're bombing. You're going to bomb a lot of spawn points probably if you're playing survival, but just in general, when you're bombing and you're in the back, other players are going to be in the front, and you can heal them while you damage enemies, so this is really ideally the one you want with your legendary. Definitely want blast radius. I'm actually switching this over. We're going to be running status effect damage for the black powder, because this is actually a black powder build. Concussion does decent damage, but we're hitting the hardest spots and annihilating them with the black powder. I don't know if there is a Ronin charm. It's the only charm for a character that I don't have several of, and I don't have any for the Ronin. But for the moment, I'm going to be telling you what to use on the ranged. There might be a pinned comment later, or if anyone can confirm if there is a Ronin charm and if there's anything good on it. That will require testing if there is one, and I'll have a pinned comment up if there is any change in the build. But what we're going to be running for the range charm is range damage and Oni damage. Instead of Oni damage, you could run fire damage if you get that, ability cooldown reduction in the meantime, but ideally range damage and Oni damage with Fire Master. So our ghost weapon 1 is going to be the sticky bomb, and we definitely want the damage increase on it. You can also have cooldown reduction on kill is really good. Oh, actually, damage increase and blast radius. And then your third one can either be increased radius or fire. Sorry, was just thinking on the spot right there, but yeah, that is it. It's damage increase, blast radius, increased blast radius, or fire. For our Ghost Weapon 2, it's going to be the Smoke Bomb with munitions and both cooldowns. So we get it more often and we get more bombs. You're very likely to get at least one black powder every time you use it. The more you get, the more you don't have to go to an ammo, and the more stuff you can kill. As you saw my kill count in that game, I could have made it even more ridiculous. We'll get into the skill tree right here. So the skill tree is going to be, obviously, we're not running the dog. We're still going to keep the heal on for our nearby allies, especially at the end of waves in survival, and just in general. We're going to definitely be running enhanced ghost weapons. This affects our bombs, our Way of the Flame, our sticky bomb. That is why all those damages are up. The blast radius is really good on the bomb, but so is fire because you're running fire mastery. Personally, I like taking out crowds and groups, so I'm running the extra blast radius on it to make it ridiculous. Right here, stagger damage does not actually inflict damage to the health, that's why we're not going to choose that, and also because increased healing and health regain when we're not running the healing gourd is really nice. To go full offense, you'll be running one of two other setups. You'll either be running the breath of, we're just going to call this the fire breath because I'm not going to try to pronounce that at the moment. To be a team player, if you're the only Ronin, you can also easily run Soothing Breath and still be highly offensive. This just makes you even more offensive since we are running Fire Mastery. Alternatively, you actually could put the second legendary on if you also do have a good trap. So, for the Demon Seeds, what we would be running is Fired Up, Damage Increase, where is it? And Status Effect Duration. This way, this will actually shred enemies, like big ass Onis as they're walking through it are straight getting shredded. Because of the 50% extra damage, say you get, it's a legendary, so you only get, if you have the legendary, you'll get 20% extra damage. Plus you got the bonus on the fire. Plus you got the extended duration for the weakening and the fire. This just straight shreds them. So you can easily run two legendaries as well, but then you will be throwing less bombs, and you'll be looking for more healing posts or ammo posts, whatever they are. But you can run that whichever way you want out of that. Those are the most ideal setups to run an offensive Ronin that actually still heals and is still useful for reviving. Ideally, if you're going to be the only Ronin and like your teammates aren't that high level, you might want to run the heal one on it and just sacrifice a little bit of offense. But this is the setup that I run right here. I switch it either between the heal or the fire, depending if I'm going in with randoms. I'll keep the heal on. Fire if there's going to be like two Ronins, or I know the team is really good. And that is my build for the Ronin. If you have another build that you think is as good or better, feel free to share. I hope that helps.